What is going on, everybody?
Oh my god, hello.
It is Pixel Partners here.
What
and
the hell, Fire?
Welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2, when we left off.
What was that?
That was me, man. I don't have anything else to tell you. Trying to break grapes over here. Trying to break grapes? Yeah, that's how that goes. Anyways.
Ah, yes. Grape breaking. How wine is made.
Anyways, when we left off.
You just crack open a grape.
Yeah. Anyways.
Like an egg.
We were starting to get down to trying to prove that Blaze is potentially a culprit, and then we're going through the whole conductor thing here. And the reason why the crime scene, let me deduce that the culprit is a conductor, is the meeting room blood.
Gasp.
The culprit personally left a large amount of blood in the meeting room. In doing so, we were led to believe the meeting room had been the scene of the crime. It was a ruse by the true culprit to hide the blood that had fallen from the storeroom.
So we wouldn't find out about the existence of the black market auction, correct?
Indeed. If the culprit had been unrelated to the auction, there would have been no need to do such a thing. Ergo, the culprit could have only been the conductor.
Well then, do you have any idea as to who the conductor might possibly be?
The auction hall is at the PIC meeting room, and furthermore, there is a storeroom above it. The conductor must have been, at the very least, a member of the PIC. So, in other words, you suspect me, I take it? Isn't it natural to suspect you, the one with the most authority in the PIC?
Oh yeah, that.
You are quite capable. I'll give you that much at least. But you know, like I said before, you're far too naive.
Poof. You do that every time.
You have nothing, you know. There's no evidence that proves I am the culprit, you see. If by some chance you do have evidence, then why don't you present it? No. Do I have evidence that Blaze is the culprit?
I have it!
Of course I do! Bluff like the man that you love. No, there is evidence. Evidence that you are the culprit. No, then why don't you show it to me? This so-called evidence. It's the best this piece of evidence proves that you're the culprit. I kind of went all out on that one.
I was gonna say.
What do we have that proves that Blaze, the best, is the culprit?
Apparently we have it if we have a bar thing there.
Well, it could be one of those situations where if we fail, I can have a chance to say no, and then we can progress forward. It could possibly be the fact that there is no evidence, but the Jammin' Ninja mask.
Sure.
I mean, the mask was planted on Kay.
Yeah.
But she would have no need to wear it because she wasn't actually involved in the meeting. So there's a potential that it could be. I mean, this is still a jump.
What if we had him put it on and talk and compare his voice to the recording?
Well, there would be a voice changer that I'd have to put on still. I don't think the voice changer is built into the mask, though.
Yeah, it is. That's why they wear them.
But this is just a cheap plastic mask.
Oh.
I think they have voice changers that are outside of the mask.
Oh.
Yeah. Or I guess they would be not part of the mask, but inside the mask.
I don't know why I thought the masks had. But here, go to the thingy.
Which
masks.
Thingy? The mask on the wall.
Yeah.
More participants at the auction.
Oh.
Many different types were provided.
Well then, this isn't the Masked Singer. Okay.
Let's see.
I think
Red
you dug
raincoat?
yourself into a hole. It's like, yeah, we have proof. He's like, all right, what is it?
Yeah, the costume trunk? Nope.
What have you done to us?
Yeah,
We're already low on health.
I've cost us some life is what I've done here. Oh, boy.
We literally have nothing unless we pick the bull. Thank you so much for helping with my plan. I'm glad we help each other get what we want.
Yeah,
It's
this whole
22
thing.
Stone. Please get revenge for 12 years ago.
That was what was written to Miss Crane. Key card record, autopsy report, candelabra.
And then what was
key
the
card?
one from Jill?
Let me go there.
Once I get back for you, your most precious memory.
And then ironically, she loses all her memory.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Maybe maybe the bull?
I was also thinking that because of the recording,
Yeah, but
there's nothing that really states.
no. Why did you pick this option?
I don't know. I wasn't hoping it would be like, oh, show it to me.
Why did you pick this? Are you gonna have to look up a walkthrough again?
I might have to, just because our life is so
You
low.
run us into the ground.
I can only make like one potential guess at something, but that guess could be. Oh,
What have
man,
you
oh God,
done
oh man,
to
oh God. I have ruined everything.
Ruined.
Conductor's clothes. That doesn't really say anything though. Damn it. Conductor wore a white jacket with a purple flower, white gloves, and a mask.
It's like, hey, try these on.
Huh. I know, right? I mean, we have them as evidence.
Oh, the flower.
Yeah, it's the same flower that was planted on Kay. It was torn off of the victim's
Which he
clothes.
said that he planted on her.
But that's all the hearsay, this whole thing is that we have no
hearsay,
proof
yeah,
of
yeah.
him doing that. You know what? Just for the sake of not dying, I'm gonna go check real quick on what the answer is. So
God.
I'm gonna be right back.
Evan!
I'm sorry, I've killed us. All right, I'm back, and I'm gonna have to take the hit on this one for us. Looks like you're not supposed to say it, as I
No,
figured. I was
you're
like,
not.
well, I'm gonna throw the autograph badge at you little prick. Could you take a look at this piece of evidence? Edgeworth, and what about it? Plays the best, don't you understand the meaning of this piece of evidence? Well, I can't say I do. I mean, it doesn't look like it's related at all. It's not. Gosh, this wasn't it.
I
Plays the
can't
best has to be the
believe you
culprit.
just did that to
However, do I have any
us.
evidence to prove it?
No,
Edgeworth?
we don't.
There's no evidence to prove that I'm the culprit, Do I have evidence that Billy's is the culprit?
No.
I do not have it.
We could not afford that.
I'm sorry.
We could not afford that.
Blaze himself has suggested that he is the criminal. He's been showing that strange self-confidence for a while now. He knows that there's not a single piece of evidence left behind to incriminate him. If you play with the fire, you're gonna get burned, Edgeworth. Just kidding. I always wanted to say that, Well then, Courtney.
Whoa. I reckon I just remember something too.
What? You also lost your memories?
No, that ain't it. Wow, he's really stupid. Something just popped into my head right now.
That happens to me all the time.
It does, doesn't it? Very well. Please tell us. Whoa.
Courtney, could you tell me what you were doing?
Prosecutor Edgeworth will not give up until we have destroyed every last possibility. I'm destroying every possibility so that he will never oppose us again.
Oh.
So she says.
Justine! I don't really know what's going on, but well said. Pops, I'm gonna help too. After all, he is the one who's wrong. Fine then. Let's hear what she has to say.
Courtney's totally a double agent here.
Oh yeah.
Well then, Miss Hart, please proceed. Sure thing, just leave it to me. Hey!
Please make sure you only tell the truth.
Ain't that a matter of course? I'm a bona fide journalist of justice,
Somehow I feel uneasy.
Y'all seen the culprit was the conductor, right? That means the victim was a customer. Now, here's where it gets a mite strange. You see, there were 11 people at the auction. When the auction continued after the incident, I went straight over and snuck a peek down below.
You don't mean...
That's exactly what I mean. All 11 people were still there, present and accounted for.
What? What?
You sounded like Gumshoe.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that? Sure, I'm sure. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
So it started with 11 people, and there were still 11 people after the murder. 11 minus 11. Is it a ghost?
Sebastian, why are you doing 11 minus 11?
You know, Sebastian, normally a prosecutor would call that a contradiction, you know. Well, were there really no changes in the auction at all?
Really? I'm telling you, the auction just went on like normal. But there was one itty bitty thing, though.
What was it?
You know those hammers you always see at an auction? Like the one that lady's using over there? An auction gavel, perhaps? Yup, that's the one.
Bap!
All of a sudden, I couldn't hear the sound no more. It'd been banging away just prior to it.
The sound of the gavel? Does that have anything to do with the case? I mean, it must.
Huh. If Miss Hart's testimony is the truth, then this matter has taken a grave turn. If the victim was neither the conductor nor a customer, the very foundation of Prosecutor Edgeworth's reasoning would collapse.
No. Justice prevails, as they say. I hope you've learned your lesson, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh my god. Mr. Edgeworth, there really is nothing we can do.
It's not over yet. Some mysteries still remain. I have to think. If I don't, then Kay will be...
Put away
Did you
forever.
get the answer you wanted this time? Well then, a deal's a deal.
Oh. Please wait, Mr. Chairman. I believe it's still too early to make a judgment. There are still a few mysteries left in this case. Until we have solved them all, we cannot call this a complete victory. She's doing mind games with him right now.
Huh?
Isn't that right, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I was expecting you to shout, "Hold it!" just like you always do.
Yes, of course. Once again, Judge Courtney has come to my aid. Well then, what is it? What sort of mysteries are left?
The mystery of how you haven't caught on to how brilliant I am yet. Well, of course, there's the contradiction in the autopsy report.
That kind of thing.
Yes. That kind of thing.
I brought her in!
Oh yeah. Yes! What's wrong? Why were we suddenly called here? Did someone suddenly get sick? I'll begin preparing a compress stat. Ouch! What'd you call me here for? Did something happen? Dr. Young, Miss Jensen, you have my gratitude for taking the trouble to come here. This won't take long, so please relax. Tell me what in blazes is going on! Of course, we called you here because something came up.
Judge Courtney, just what are you planning?
She's having fun. Bonnie Young, under the divine rule of law, please answer truthfully. There were no mistakes in your autopsy report, correct? Granny would never make a mistake. That's certainly strange. Huh? What's strange? Granny? This court has found an error in Dr. Young's autopsy report. Dr. Young, please tell the truth. Did you falsify the autopsy report? That's terrible! How can you accuse her of that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Why would I do such a thing in the first place? To protect the true culprit, of course. What you talking about, Willis? I would never do such a thing. How strange. Making references. In that case, why would there be an error in the autopsy report, I wonder? Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you think? Oh, I expected you to press into a statement like you normally do.
Why is she taking control of the situation and trying to help me?
I love it!
I don't know what her goal is, but I must play along.
She's a badass. I love her now.
If the autopsy report you gave to Sebastian had been authentic, then the error should not have been there. But wait a minute! I didn't do anything!
We know.
That is what we will figure out from this point on. Firstly, Dr. Young, I'd like to hear your testimony.
Why do you want to hear her testimony? It'd be pointless.
I'll be the one who decides whether or not it is pointless, not you.
There are patients waiting for us. But Granny, ouch! Anyways, we don't have time for this.
Is there any way I could convince you? This is of the utmost importance.
Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Granny says she'll testify. So please try to finish this quickly. If we don't return soon, there'll be people in terrible suffering.
And yet you were lollygagging around on the viewing platform earlier.
Yeah.
I promise you, this won't take long. Only if she tells me the truth, of course.
Woo!
Well then.
I love doing her voice because it's the most low effort voice ever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said this before, but my inspiration for her voice is basically all of Dan and Aaron's voices they do for the girl
Yeah,
character.
I think you said that.
Yeah. There's no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports. Got it? I've been working with corpses longer than you've been alive. Oh, burn. There's no way I'd make a mistake in writing the autopsy. Ouch! Let me finish your sentences first. I got nothing to gain from falsifying the autopsy report, is what she says. See, there's nothing strange at all.
Yes, that's right, you know. There's no way she would falsify it, you see.
Under the name of the goddess of law, do you swear that this testimony is the truth? Of course! Granny would never tell a lie.
We were asking
But
Dr.
I would
Young.
for her with my own mouth.
We did not need to hear from a third party.
I'm not a third party. I'm on Granny's side, literally. I'm right next to her. If you raise an objection to my testimony, you'd best prepare yourself, you ex-prosecutor.
I'll definitely expose the contradiction in this autopsy report.
I'm definitely reusing this voice. I love it. It's so fun.
I can tell.
It's so fun.
No mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports. I'm working with corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way I'd make a mistake in the ouch. It's very interesting that she hits her on that statement.
Yeah.
The victim wore this raincoat after suffering a blow to the head. And yet there was not a single drop of blood on the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it is impossible for the head wound to have been post-mortem.
Well, that's... Ouch! I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning.
No, it's not. The autopsy report says the head wound was post-mortem. That's completely different.
Ouch! Yeah. I relayed to Corinne what to put down in the autopsy report. After that, it was none of my beeswax.
Relayed to Karen? Please elaborate on that.
Oh, I relayed everything. I've been saying Corinne because that's a Naruto character and that's how her name is spelled. And it's pronounced Corinne because that's a Japanese thing, but I don't know.
I mean, I'd assume it's Karen because, you know,
that's
nurse,
right.
Karen. Yeah. Not that she acts like a Karen yet, but apparently she might be up to some shit up here.
Weeb force of habit, sorry.
Relate everything to
I
Karen.
related
after that,
everything to Karen
no-
after that, it was none of my beeswax.
I'd like to verify once again that you saw when you examined the body.
Like we said, ouch! Well about that. She was done in by a thump to her noggin.
Dr. Young, do you know when that happened?
Before she died, of course. Stupid bitch. The wounds on her chest were post-mortem. That's what I relayed to Karen. So that's what should have been written in the report.
That's what you relayed to her, huh? I'm beginning to see the truth. So, I mean...
I got nothing to gain falsifying the report, is what she added after that.
Well, that's been there, so...
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that was always part of it. So she says, see, isn't that strange to see her at all?
I kind of black out when I do this voice.
It doesn't look like Granny's lying.
Huh. Miss Jensen is the one who was relaying Dr. Young's words. We'll have to confirm whether or not Miss Jensen is telling us the truth. And that's where we got the thing from. So, I think I should present the autopsy report to that? Because the autopsy report that Karen wrote when she was related is backwards. So I think that would be the thing that makes sense. There's not really much else that I think would really make a difference in this, so I'm gonna go for it.
Oh,
There we go. Okay, I was worried that it didn't go silent there for a bit.
Yeah. She's like, oh, frick.
Dr. Young, please confirm what this autopsy report says with your own eyes.
I chirped. I read it out for you. Ouch.
Uh-oh. Just bapper
Ow.
over and over again.
Why do you keep doing that to me? This autopsy report wasn't written by me.
What? What do you mean?
Ow. Oh!
Oh my god.
I don't know. Ow. but Granny, I can't say that. It's a bad word. Ow.
Would you two cut it with the Two Stooges act?
I know. What is with this slapstick comedy? Miss Jensen, if you're trying to keep the truth in the dark, then... in place of the goddess of law, I shall hear your confession.
Judge Courtney is talking with Dr. Young in private.
What? Is that true? Understood. I shall convey your words to everyone else, Dr. Young. I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down. Wow. She mimicked her voice perfectly. Oh.
There was no need for her to go that far, though. In other words, the contents of the autopsy report had been falsified. By your hand, Miss Jensen.
She sausaged it. With that, we've proven that the wound on her head came first, followed by her chest wound. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report? Oh.
Hold on a second, she never said she falsified it, you know. Just made a teeny tiny mistake when she wrote it down.
Wasn't exactly
Post-mortem and antemortem sound kind of similar, you know.
No.
They are completely opposite. They are complete opposites. That is the very definition of falsification.
Miss Jensen, why would you lie? Okay, ouch! I want you to tell me too. Why would you do something like that? Granny, but
Because you falsified the autopsy report, Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it.
I can't say. I just can't say it.
Not I don't want to say, but I can't say. You're all a bunch of bullies, you know. Ganging up on this poor girl who loves her grandmother so. She's totally related to this. I think we can forgive her for this one tiny mistake.
He's totally pulling the strings.
Oh yeah, that won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies? Huh? What are you saying? You see, as a former prosecutor, you'll have to speak a little more clearly, you know. Very well, as you wish. I shall answer clearly. Miss Jensen played an essential role in this case.
Accomplice.
She was the victim, obviously. She rose from the table. All right.
She was a true culprit.
She was an accomplice.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Jensen
Helping
falsified
you.
the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit.
You crazy old man. Ouch!
This girl's an accomplice. What's your basis for that claim? It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least two people, namely because, I mean, the number of people would have matched.
The crime could not have been committed without at least two people, namely because... Oh, yeah.
That's my opinion, because, right? Yeah, and they wear masks, so technically she could have done that. So it could go beyond just being, you know...
Because the report could have been faked.
And
they
to be
found a
fair,
way, and
she's
the victim...
also the one that randomly found Kay saying she'd fallen off a building.
Yeah. That is true. He probably like, hey, make sure she's not dead.
Yeah, I hope that's it. If the conductor was the culprit and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident.
What now? You got a problem with my testimony?
Not at all. Rather, it is because I believe your testimony, that's why an accomplice must exist. So you still want to admit that your reasoning is wrong?
Woohoo!
Up until now, we had not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. However, if there had been an accomplice, it changes the entire story completely.
Yep.
If the accomplice took the murdered auction guest place, then the number of people remains 11. Oh, I see now. So that's what you're thinking. But you know, wouldn't that have been quickly discovered?
She could have just taken the gem and ninja mask off her face and
Exactly.
put it with Kay along
Yeah,
with the
and
other
put the
stuff.
clothes on and everything.
Yeah.
Ms. Jensen and the victim have similar physiques. And if she wore the victim's mask, she could have easily taken her place. Ms. Jensen, did you switch places with the victim?
I wouldn't. Normally.
Who was the conductor? In other words, tell me who was the true culprit.
I can't. I mean, that would also cause trouble for Granny. Ouch.
Uh-oh.
But Granny, I will accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell me everything.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Messed up Granny's hair and made her glasses fly off.
As I thought, it appears you really were the accomplice.
Miss Jensen, why? Miss Jensen, would you please tell us? Yes. It's okay, Granny, I'm fine now. I switched places with the victim, Miss Crane.
So you admit to being the conductor's accomplice?
Yes. I helped out the conductor. I don't really know why, but for some reason, the conductor was expecting to be attacked by Miss Crane.
The conductor expected an attack from the victim?
They were so sure it was going to happen that they came up with a plan to counter it. A way to beat the victim at her own game, and that's when I was called in. I was told to wait in the storeroom before the auction began. Whoa there, you ain't fooling my eyes. If you were waiting in the storeroom, I reckon I would have bumped into you. After all, I've been up in that storeroom the entire auction. I'm telling the truth.
I wonder about that, you know. Can we really believe a girl would falsify a report? There should have been many places to hide in that storeroom. And by all means, tell me, where'd our little nurse hide? Ah, the place Miss Jensen hid was, it's gonna be the box. What's in the box?
We're finally gonna use
Miss
the
Jensen.
costume tank now.
She hid inside this costume trunk.
I said tank, didn't
You
I?
did, it's fine.
It's a
Costume trunk.
It kind of looks like a tank. Fish tank. Now that you mention it, that box was already there before I snuck in. I figured I would hide in there myself, but it was wrapped up nice and tight with a chain. It was locked too, so I had to give up. I had to give it up.
I suspect that when you sneaked into the room, Miss Jensen was already inside the trunk.
Yes, it would have been bad if I was one of the guests from the auction had opened the lid. After instructing me to hide inside, the conductor wrapped a chain around the costume trunk. I think they went downstairs using the lift shortly thereafter. It was right before the auction.
So then when the auction began, only you and Miss Hart were in the storeroom.
Yes, that should be right.
The auction had been going on as usual, but when a certain participant made the winning bid, the conductor committed the crime. Miss Hart must have heard the altercation that occurred then.
You betcha. I was trembling behind that there statue the whole time, though.
Following the altercation, Jill Crane was murdered.
Rip.
After killing Jill Crane, the conductor carried her body to the costume trunk. And Miss Jensen, who had been hiding in the trunk, was made to take Miss Crane's place. The victim's body was placed inside the costume trunk.
That's how the blood got
The
there.
conductor then took Miss Jensen, who had been made to look like Jill Crane, and returned to the auction hall as if nothing had happened. There's a bit of a problem with this, though.
What?
I'm gonna see. I'll wait to see if was this roughly what happened in the storeroom during the incident?
Yes, that's right. Pulling the old switcheroo with one of the auction guests. Ain't that impossible? That gal and the murder victim are two completely different people, you know. Don't you reckon one of the other participants should have would have noticed and caused a ruckus?
No, not at all. The reason they didn't notice the switch was because she stole the victim's clothes. I was gonna say the masks,
Yeah.
but yeah, she stole the victim's clothes.
The mask was part of her outfit.
Yeah, from what I can tell, Miss Jensen and the victim appear to have a similar physique. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. If their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person.
Yes, I blended right in. I played a lot of Assassin's Creed. Ouch! I borrowed Miss Crane's clothes and... Ouch. You mustn't embarrass the dead like that. I know. I also thought it was pretty heartless to leave her exposed like that. So when the conductor wasn't looking, I covered her up in the raincoat that was up for auction.
She was the one who put the raincoat on the victim. And then the auction resumed as if nothing had happened.
I
Nothing
reckon I took the picture of her in the red raincoat after that.
That's the thing that throws me off, is that if the picture was taken after the murder and Miss Jensen went back downstairs, then why do we have the photo taken afterwards of the person walking away?
I don't know.
That's like, I was waiting for Blaze to pipe up and be like, contradiction because of this, because that's the one thing that doesn't match everything else. Well, you know, we'll
That's
find out
creepy.
what the story of all this is next time.
Oh boy. At least we're learning a lot more now.
Oh
finally.
yeah, we're chugging along,
The
chugging along
mystery
towards
is
it.
slowly unraveling itself.
We're chugging down the truth train. Choo choo.
Chugging down the choo choo.